Today we're going to take a look at Greece. We'll have a brief look at its history, and then take a look at some of its cultural aspects. Here we see a political map of Europe, and Greece is located in the southern part right here, bordering the Mediterranean Sea. When we take a look at another map of Greece, a little more in-depth map, we can see that it's not just a peninsula, but it's also made up of lots of smaller islands too. Its capital city of Athens is located on the edge of one of the peninsulas, and is actually centrally located of all the islands itself. Now, the ancient Greek civilization first started around 800 BC. In their society, it was made up of what we call city-states, which are states that kind of have their own form of government, and it helped the society stay pretty well maintained. In each of these city-states, they had their own gods, created their own laws, and their own form of government. In the city-state of Athens, they are one of the first known democracies in the world, which meant that their people got to vote for their officials. Now, Greeks aren't just given credit for creating democracy, they're also given credit for inventing modern theater. In their society, they would put on plays. Now, not in such a dramatic fashion as we have today, with large stages and lights and elaborate costumes and makeup and all that stuff. They had to use a lot of their imagination, but they still were able to put on plays to help entertain others. Now, over the next several centuries, Greece is going to belong to many different empires. The first major empire to conquer the Greece area was the Roman Empire. With leaders such as Alexander the Great, pictured here, the Roman Empire was very successful in taking land over 3 different continents. Looking at this map, they took over land in southern Europe, in parts of Asia that we call Asia Minor, and then a large portion of northern Africa. In this empire, Greece kind of served as the center. Now, a few centuries later, the Roman Empire fell and was divided into 2. The remaining part of the Roman Empire was what you see in yellow, and everything in orange was a part of what was called the Byzantine Empire. Eventually, the yellow parts were added to the Byzantine Empire later, but Greece was one of the major focal points of the Byzantine Empire itself. Now, the Byzantine Empire lasted for over 1,000 years, and in the mid-1400s, a group of people called the Ottoman Turks came in and captured the city of Constantinople, which was the capital of the Byzantine Empire, changing the name to Istanbul, and created the Ottoman Empire, which took up lands from Europe, Asia, and Africa. Now, Greece will be a part of the Ottoman Empire up until it gains its independence in the mid-1800s, and the rest of the Ottoman Empire will fall after World War I ends. Now, looking at Greece today, they do enjoy democracy, so they have a democratic government once again. And when you look at their faith, 98% of Greeks are what we call Eastern Christian Orthodox, or Greek Orthodox. This type of Christianity was developed in Greece centuries ago, and most people belong to that faith today. Now, Greece is given credit with creating theater and democracy, but they also have created lots of different art forms as well. One of those types of art forms are called mosaics. Now, mosaics, as you see in the pictures here, are when they take little stones that are different colors, put them together, and when you stand back, it creates a picture. Now, today you can create mosaics with anything. People create them with small stones, colored glass, even like torn up construction paper. You can make mosaics out of almost anything these days. Now, Greece's economy runs off of 2 major things: agriculture and tourism. Greece does not have very many natural resources, especially since most of the land is made up of mountains. But with that 19% of land that can be farmed, they use it to their advantage and grow crops. In the tourism industry, one of the major cities that's toured the most in Greece is the capital city of Athens, due to its rich history. Athens is the birthplace of the modern Olympic Games, and is also a seaport, so it has lots of businesses coming through there. Now, taking a look at a couple of the tourist attractions of Greece, the first one, the Parthenon, was built well over 2,000 years ago. It was a temple dedicated to the Greek goddess Athena, which is what Athens is named for, and it sits in an area known as the Acropolis in Athens. It is still around today, and you can tour the area. And the next is the Acropolis Theater. Now, the Acropolis Theater sits on top of the Acropolis area, near the Parthenon, and this theater was used for a lot of the storytelling that the Greeks would do a long time ago. You can still go to the Acropolis Theater, and you could even see a concert. They do still put on concerts in this old theater, and plays, and so it would be pretty neat to be able to sit in a theater that's several thousand years old and watch a modern-day act. Now, that was a brief run-through of Greece. We'll take a look at several more European countries throughout the next week and a half.